The sleek, modern office building buzzed with activity. Malin, a fresh-faced young man, clutched his briefcase, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today was his first day at Lux Corp, a company renowned for its innovative designs and cutting-edge technology. Malin nervously adjusted his tie, the ill-fitting grey suit doing little to calm his nerves. He felt out of place amidst the stylishly dressed employees, their confident strides echoing through the polished hallways. Just breathe, Malin, he muttered to himself. You got this. He approached the reception desk, where a woman with a warm smile greeted him. Welcome to Lux Corp, Malin. We're so glad to have you on board. Here's your employee package, including your uniform. She handed him a crisp, white box. Malin took the box, his curiosity piqued. Uniform, he thought. I wasn't expecting that. He thanked the receptionist and hurried to the nearest restroom, eager to see what Lux Corp considered appropriate work attire. Inside the box, nestled amongst layers of tissue paper, was a delicate, powder blue dress. Malin stared at it, his confusion growing. A dress. There must be some mistake, he mumbled, pulling the garment from the box. The fabric felt soft and luxurious against his skin. As he held the dress, a faint shimmer enveloped the restroom. A soft, pink smoke filled the air, carrying with it a sweet, floral scent. Malin coughed, waving his hand in front of his face, his head spinning slightly. A tingling sensation spread across his face, his skin smoothing and softening. His jawline became more delicate, his cheekbones more pronounced. His eyelashes lengthened and darkened, framing his widening eyes. What's happening to me? He gasped, his voice becoming higher, more melodic. His short, brown hair cascaded down his shoulders, transforming into a cascade of silky, blonde waves. The roots tingled as the color shifted, the new hair feeling lighter, more voluminous. He reached up, his fingers tracing the unfamiliar curves of his new hairstyle. His shoulders narrowed, the broadness melting away as his frame became more slender. The collar of his shirt loosened, straining against his shrinking form. He felt a strange lightness in his chest, a subtle pressure building beneath his skin. His chest swelled, the fabric of his shirt straining against the burgeoning curves. Buttons popped, scattering across the tiled floor as two perky breasts pushed against the confines of his clothing. Oh my God, she whispered, her voice filled with a mixture of fear and fascination. Her waist cinched inwards, her hips flaring outwards in a graceful curve. The trousers of his suit tightened around her thighs, the fabric clinging to her newly formed curves. A delicious ache spread through her lower body, a sensation both unfamiliar and intoxicating. A strange sensation washed over her groin as her manhood receded, replaced by a soft, sensitive mound. The bulge in her trousers vanished, leaving behind a smooth, feminine silhouette. She gasped, her hand instinctively moving to explore her new anatomy. The powder blue dress seemed to materialize around her, the soft fabric caressing her skin. It fit perfectly, accentuating her curves and highlighting her new feminine form. She stared at her reflection, her eyes wide with disbelief. A beautiful woman stared back at her, her blonde hair cascading down her shoulders, her blue eyes sparkling with a newfound confidence. I'm Malin, she whispered, her voice still unfamiliar, yet undeniably her own. She slipped on a pair of elegant, silver high heels that had also been in the box. They fit perfectly. With a deep breath, Malin, now fully a woman, stepped out of the restroom, her head held high. The transformation was complete. As she walked through the office, heads turned. Employees stared, their eyes filled with admiration and a hint of envy. Malin, or rather, Malin, felt a surge of power, a newfound confidence radiating from within. The CEO approached her, a wide smile on his face. Malin, welcome to Lux Corp. I see the uniform fits perfectly. We're so excited to have you on the team. He shook her hand, his eyes lingering on her figure. Thank you, sir, Malin replied, her voice smooth and confident. I'm ready to start. She knew her life had changed forever, but she was ready to embrace her new identity and conquer the world, one stiletto heel at a time. Later that evening, Malin explored her new sensuality. She slipped into a tight, red dress that accentuated her curves, her breasts pushed high and perky. She posed in front of the mirror, admiring her reflection, her fingers tracing the contours of her body. She ran her hands over her breasts, marveling at their size and shape. They were full and round, the nipples hard and sensitive. These are incredible, she whispered, her voice filled with lust. Her hips swayed as she moved, the tight skirt clinging to her curves. She loved the way her body felt, the way it moved, the way it commanded attention. She was a woman, and she was powerful. Malin decided to celebrate her transformation. She went to a club, her red dress turning heads as she walked through the door. Men flocked to her, drawn to her beauty and confidence. She danced with a handsome stranger, her body pressed against his. She felt his hands on her hips, his breath on her neck, She moaned softly, her desire building with each passing moment. They kissed passionately, their tongues tangling. She felt his hands exploring her body, his fingers tracing her curves. She was lost in the moment, her senses overwhelmed with pleasure. Later, they found themselves in a bedroom, undressing each other with feverish anticipation. Malin felt a thrill course through her as she revealed her body, her breasts full and round, her hips wide and inviting. She lay in bed, her body flushed with pleasure. She had never felt so alive, so sensual, so free. She was Malin, and she was a woman. And she was loving every minute of it. The next day, Malin returned to Lux Corp, her head held high. She wore a stylish business suit, her confidence radiating from within. She was no longer the nervous young man who had arrived just days before. She was a powerful woman, ready to take on the world. She presented her ideas in the boardroom, her voice clear and confident. Her colleagues listened intently, impressed by her knowledge and passion. She was a natural leader, and they knew she was destined for great things. Years later, Malin stood on a stage, accepting an award for her contributions to Lux Corp. She had become a visionary leader, a role model for women everywhere. She had embraced her transformation and used it to achieve her dreams. As she looked out at the crowd, she smiled, her heart filled with gratitude. She was Malin, and she was a woman. And she was living her best life.